On an off day from the Oxnard Harbor, we welcome you into Inside Cowboys training camp driven by Ford. Alongside Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans, where the Cowboys get to rest one more day before heading into a big week. It's game week as preseason game number 1 is right around the corner Saturday as Jacksonville goes to AT&T Stadium to face the Cowboys, 4 p.m. kickoff. But we've got a lot to get to before we get into preseason game number 1. Most importantly, a nice regeneration day for this team. How important is it to get some rest going into a big week?
Well, you got to get your legs back, Kyle. You got to get your legs back. Coach McCarthy and staff have been making sure that these guys hit the ground running hard. They've been pushing them in practice, okay? There's no more double-padded practices, but the time that they've had on the field, they've been very highly competitive. These guys are thudding each other up in terms of making sure they have some kind of contact without wrapping each other up and going to the ground. Make sure you prevent injuries. But now they have opportunity, like you said, to get their legs underneath them going into this first preseason game so that guys can be able to put forth their best foot.
There was some extra physicality on Saturday. I mean, there were some big hits. There was some popping. The trenches got after it quite a bit. There were guys on the ground. And it was the most physical practice we had seen to this point, and it was one of the more intense ones at that. So today, even more important going into a game week. But with that being said, let's take a look at some of the Week 2 training camp MVPs. We'll start on the offensive side of the ball. It's been a great week for guys like Dak Prescott in the passing game, but did anybody stick out specifically?
On the offensive side of the ball, Kyle, I'm going to have to go with the rookie, Mr. Jalen Brooks, 83. You guys need to make sure that you guys have your numbers looking out for him when the game presents itself. This young man has stepped up in a big way. He's come in, he's learned the system, he's applying himself, he's being willing and able to apply himself in every facet they put him in. Doesn't matter, inside receiver, outside receiver, special teams. But what we saw this past weekend is when they went ahead and started doing some of the red zone, he was working his way into the ones. He was getting reps with Dak Prescott, and Dak was actually looking for him. So definitely keep your eye out for him in the preseason.
7th-round pick out of South Carolina, and ultimately he's been the shining star in week number 2. I completely agree. On the defensive side, it's a lot easier. I mean, there were a lot of guys around the football. Defensive MVP not named Micah Parsons. So I got to take Micah out of the equation. He was a game wrecker all week, but who else stood out?
Well, and it's a crowded room on that defensive side of the ball. We know that's the loaded side of this team. But I'm going to have to go with Chauncey Golston. He created a lot of havoc in the inside of that defensive line, and he has to make sure that he continues to do so and if he wants to stand out. You got big boys in there like Hankins, Mozzie Smith. You got a lot of guys in there that are going to require a lot of attention. So what can you do as an interior defensive lineman to cause havoc and really make sure these coaches pay attention to you? He did a great job this past week.
Adam Dirty and company really happy with what they've seen growth-wise from Chauncey Golston. It's year number 2 into a transition from the edge rusher spot to the defensive interior, and he's shown that he can provide some pass rush and some versatility as he's bounced outside between the 3 technique and the 5 technique. Fun to see. If it wasn't number 99 on that defense, it could have been 97. Osa Odighizuwa's had a great week as well, and that whole defensive front has ultimately had a fantastic second week of camp, and I expect that to happen with Dan Quinn's unit as we continue on into training camp 2023. But when we come back, we start a brand new series. Of course, with it being preseason game week number 1, what positions to watch for? We'll tell you exactly what you should keep an eye on whenever we get to Jacksonville on Saturday, with more Inside Cowboys training camp driven by Ford in a moment.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp presented by Ford is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Cowboys! This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Inside Cowboys Training Camp driven by Ford. Alongside Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans. And Isaiah, heading into that game against Jacksonville on Saturday, each player, each position has something to watch for. What are the positions that you have your eye on, and what should fans watch for going into preseason game 1?
Well, there's going to be a lot of position battles, Kyle, but I know one that everybody's worried about right now is that RB2. So who is going to be the guy that steps into the fold and takes over those reps right behind Tony Pollard? I had a chance to meet up with Rico Dowdle. Let's see what he had to say.
My goal in this preseason, in terms of position battle, just come out here and compete with the guys in the running back room. I think at the end of the day, it's going to make us all better. At the end of the day, iron sharpen iron. So And my main goal is to show I belong in this league, and then I'm able to play, really.
Absolutely. In terms of the preseason, what do you feel like you have to do to give these coaches a vote of confidence?
Just stay consistent, go out there and do what I do. I mean, take it one play at a time, one day at a time. I ain't trying to force nothing. Just go out there and continue what I've been doing. I've had to come here and battle my last 3 years to make the team. So just doing the same thing, going out there, being a consistent player, doing small things.
All right. Are there any particular goals that you got set on you? I know in the preseason sometimes I want to get this many catches, or I want to go out here and make a big impact on special teams. What is your mindset going into these games?
Go out there and have a good game, man. Be the most consistent player that day, and don't do nothing bad, really. All
right. Tell these cats, man, to go ahead and tune in on the game so you can see you do your thing.
Yes, sir. Tune in.
Of course, that interview with Rico Dowdle brought to you by Sleep Number. Outside of the running back position, what are some other spots that have a chance to shine before they take on Jacksonville?
Well, we need to take a look and see who's going to be playing behind Damone Clark and Vander Esch. And one of the guys that you guys need to be watching out for is Malik Jefferson. He's a big boy, big number 46. He likes to go out there and hit guys. He is tough. Also, you guys need to find out what's going on with Jabril Cox. Those two right there, two-headed monster, are going to be having a lot of opportunities to show what they can do and see who's going to be the next man up behind Damone Clark and Vander Esch.
What about back on the offensive side of things? The passing game, to see some guys step up as pass catchers at the wide receiver position, tight end. Which one of those positions do you like the most?
I got to go with tight end. Right now, we know that we have a sure thing with Jake Ferguson. And then we know that Hendershot also is going to get in there and get some reps, especially in this West Coast offense. But who's behind those guys? Schoonmaker, we haven't really seen many reps with him. He's been out with injury. So now who's going to step into the fold? Is it going to be Fant? Is it going to be what's your guy?
John Stevens.
John Stevens, big man, 6'6", number 49 right there. He's doing a good job as well. So who is it going to be that steps up and takes those reps? There's a small opportunity for these guys to slide in and get the role, being that Schoonmaker has not been taking reps.
Isaiah played quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. So if he's choosing the tight ends to keep an eye on, that's what you should do at home as well. When we come back, we'll also tell you when to watch this week, as it's a full schedule of practices again for the Dallas Cowboys heading into Saturday at AT&T Stadium. More Inside Cowboys Training Camp presented by Ford right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Welcome back into Inside Cowboys Training Camp, driven by Ford, as we take a look at the upcoming schedule for week number 3 of Training Camp 2023. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, just 3 padded practices left for the Cowboys to ramp up going into preseason game number 1 this Saturday, 4 p.m. kickoff between Jacksonville and Dallas at AT&T Stadium. Welcome back to the Oxnard Harbor alongside Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans. And Isaiah, 3 padded practices left. That's all the offense has to try and find a rhythm against Dan Quinn's defense. Is there any sign of slowing down for DQ's bunch? Because they have been all over the field here in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, DQ is out there playing with house money right now. I mean, he was able to secure all of his safeties are under contract now, all his DBs. He has a plethora of defensive linemen. He got linebackers that are running around like crazy. This dude has a defense that's ready to roll. I've had an opportunity to meet up with him a couple times in passing, and he's just excited to see these guys go out there and compete, fly around, make plays, and there's going to be some hard decisions he's going to have to make, obviously, over these next 4 weeks.
He continues to build upon the ground that he's built already to this point. Is that surprising that he's, one, still here, and the fact that they continue to get better?
Man, the fact that they've been able to retain him means a lot, right? The fact that it's a testament to his character. He cares about this organization. He cares about his players, and these guys want to play for him. They really want to play for him. I mean, you think about all the guys that are coming underneath him. He has been developing them. Michael Parsons loves to learn from him, and you have a lot of other guys that are starting to really just kind of become Dan Quinn, right? Kind of an extension of who he is. High energy, high effort, and making sure that they lay it out there for their teammates.
Big reason why the secondary has had as much success as they had. For Isaiah Stanback and our entire crew, I'm Kyle Yeomans saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow here from Oxnard.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.